Do you want to be much more balanced when you are doing your pivots in your tango? This video will show you how you can be much more comfortable, much more at ease and much more willing to take risks when you are dancing tango.
We are Paulo and Anne from Tango Space,
and we help men and women in London to move better, express themselves, dance elegantly and meet friendly people without tango lessons. In this video, we want to show you 7 tips to help you be much more balanced in your pivots, so that whenever you are dancing, whether you are a leader or a follower, you are much more comfortable, your partner feels really good in your arms, and you are ready to do all of the fancy, more risky movements that you love.
So yes, the pivot is a place that we usually lose our balance more common. So it's something that we need to work and always keep improving in the dance.
And that's not all. We know that a lot of you are very dedicated dancers, committed to the dance. You want to practice at home. So we have created a free guide for you with individual exercises that you can do at home to work on your pivot. I will put the link in the comments below and you can go ahead, download it and use it. These are tips that we have used on our own dancing, and we also have taught to countless students during our lessons and during our retreats. We always see the impact on the dancing, so make sure that you practice them, include the ones that help you the most, and let us know what works the best.
Okay, tip number 1 is don't look down, yes, because it's very common that sometimes when we are pivoting, we look down, especially because when we are pivoting, we are doing a specific movement or something, and there is this intention of looking down to the floor. So our head is the most heavy part of our body, so as soon as we bend the head, we are going to lose our balance, yes, because it's heavy. So it can be forward or it can be to the side. Sometimes I see leaders, for example, turning and moving the head, and then they lose the balance, they lose the axis, yes? So the first tip, keep your head in the same line with your spine, always straight.
So you want to have an alignment of your shoulders, your ears, your shoulders, your hips and your ankles, so that you know that you are actually in a straight line. Tip number 2 is to make sure that you keep your hips parallel to the floor. So what we see often, and it's a very common mistake, especially at the beginning, is that our students use the hip to pivot. I am exaggerating it a little bit, but what we see is boom, the hip going up. What we want actually when we are pivoting is to always keep this line parallel to the floor. It makes you much more stable. So I'm going to start it from here. I want to always keep my hip parallel to the floor, parallel to the floor. And if I let it go here, it's going to make my body feel go out of alignment, and it is going to make me fall. So always think hip parallel to the floor. Tip number 3 is to control your ankle. So one of the main reasons why we see people fall a little bit in their pivots, especially ladies, because we are on high heels, is that the ankle goes a little bit on the side, and when we are pivoting, it's making the whole body fall. So what we want is actually to make sure that we are spreading the weight across our foot equally, not more weight on the outside or more weight on the inside. We want to actually really work on having our weight spread out across the foot. Just so you know, except if you have been a dancer all your life or another type of body movement activity, or if you have been dancing for a really long time, it is very likely that you have a little tendency to have the weight either going out or in. I used to have my weight going out a lot before I started dancing. It's very common. Tango is all about bringing awareness to your body. So when you are dancing, think about really bringing the weight equally across the foot, so that you are really controlling your pivot.
And this is also for the leaders, yes? For leaders and followers, this is very important, yes? Not to control the ankle and not to put the weight outside, yes? Okay, tip number 4 is do not pivot before you transfer your weight fully, yes? So, for example, in a forward ocho or forward step, here we go into the step, we find our axis, yes? We find stability in the supporting leg, in the front leg, and we are going to start the pivot once we are fully here, yes? Not with 20% or 30% of the weight in the back. So we want to start 100% in one axis and then the pivot. Yes. So be careful with the dissociation, because the dissociation and the pivot is different things. Yes? The pivot is a consequence of the dissociation. So the dissociation can start before you transfer the weight fully. So if I go to the forward step, I initiate my dissociation now, I arrive, and now I continue with the dissociation. So I continue, and then the pivot is a consequence of this movement.
And I want to just do one word for the ladies. We know that you have worked on this in class, and this is a reminder of what you do, of what you have already worked on. We want to clarify that ladies often, in the followers role, there is a little tendency to want to rush to be with the partner, and this is what creates the ladies going a little bit too fast and starting to pivot before they have transferred their axis. So make sure you don't need to rush. He is going to wait for you. Make sure that you have fully arrived into where you want to go, into your axis. Before you start pivoting, there is absolutely no rush to go faster than what is good for your balance.
Okay, tip number 5 is control your movement with the dissociation. So tango is very precise, yes, and it's very, very clean and very clear. So we want to know where we are going. Yes? So we are, if I want to pivot there, yes, now I'm facing forward. If I want to pivot in that direction, to face where Anne is now, I'm going to go with the dissociation. Yes, I'm going to go with my center where I want to go, and the pivot with my left leg in this case is going to be a consequence of what is happening here. Yes. So I want to go there, and then the consequence is that my foot comes after. Yes. So it's torso, hips, pivot.
And this really helps you bring much more control and precision into your pivot than if you start with the whole body and you have much less control. So the dissociation is really helpful for balance. Tip number 6 is to make sure that you are relaxing your toes, your knees and your hips. So if you find that you feel like you are a little bit losing your balance in the pivot, it might be because you are actually straightening your leg too much and locking it. So we are not telling you to dance with a bent knee, no, but what we would like to invite you to do is to add some relaxation to the joints. So relax your toes, relax a little bit your knees, relax a little bit your hips. It's going to give you much more you're going to be more flexible, and you're going to be able to control your movements much better than if you are trying to pivot on a straight back, on a straight leg. Straight leg makes it really hard to pivot. Something a little bit more relaxed is much easier.
Okay, tip number 7 is keep your free leg on the floor. Yes, always caressing the floor with your free leg while we are pivoting. Yeah?
You can think a little bit of it as like the little wheels of when you are cycling. It's really helpful for balance. So if you look at the most experienced dancers, you will see that they are usually pivoting or doing all of the movements with a leg on the floor. This is really helpful for balance, especially for the pivots. If you decide to pivot with a leg that is higher, here, you can, it's a decoration, just know that it's a little bit more challenging in terms of balance.
Yes, so remember to leave always the way that it should feel is that your free leg is heavy, yes? That your free leg is on the floor, is always in contact with the floor, and that will give you much more stability in the pivot.
We know that making your tango more balanced, more controlled, more elegant is important for you. We know that you are working hard at home, and we also know that some exercises or some tips work better for some of you than for others. So please let us know in the comments below which one you prefer, so we can adapt our teaching for the next time.
So please remember the pivot is very important. To have balance in the pivot will make a big change in your dance, because when you transmit, when you give this stability, this calm to your partner, because you are comfortable and confident without losing your balance, will make a big difference in all the dance, and you will feel much more confident and comfortable in the embrace.
Yes, and if you're anything like us, you like working at home and practicing on your own body before moving on to working with a partner. So we have created a free guide for you with exercises to do at home to have a beautiful dissociation in your ochos and be much more balanced and grounded. It's really helpful, it's really easy. The guide is in the comments below, so go ahead, click on it, download it, and we'll see you in that video.
If you liked this video, please like it and share it with your friends.
If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share weekly video tips to help make your dancing more beautiful, more exciting, more balanced, and especially,
please keep learning and keep sharing your dancing, because the world of tango needs your embrace.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for watching, and we are looking forward to catching you in the next video.
Bye bye.
Bye guys.